Hi, I'm Jubin Dana with Dana Legal Services, and this video is specifically for in-house counsel that need help with patent filings. And one of the interesting things that has come up that I recently started working on. Um, one of the in-house counsel that I work with started asking me questions about, hey, we have a bunch of filings in the US. We're looking at a strategy for filing in foreign countries. How do we go about deciding what countries to file in? I mean, we've heard China is a great place to file. However, enforcing things is very difficult. We have a lot of activity happening in France, or we have a lot of activity happening in Brazil, or we have a lot of activity happening in country XYZ. So the best advice I can give you is the following. The first thing you need to look at as in-house counsel is what is your budget? You need to know how much money you're going to spend because some application filings in some countries is not that expensive. It's like around $2,500 because those countries accept English applications. So you can take your US application and file it. Other countries, the costs go up a little bit more because of translation fees. And of course, I've seen a crazy range of translation fees being charged by foreign attorneys. Most of the highest translation fees are charged by law firms that do translation, as opposed to entities that specifically provide translation services and then give you the stuff and then you can send it to foreign counsel to file. So the question is, how do I decide after I've decided that I'm going to file in the US, which countries I should go up in? This is where your revenue stream matters a lot. This is where knowing where your revenue is coming from matters a lot. Because if your revenue is coming from specific countries and the activity in those countries, then you need to decide yes or no as to whether or not you're concerned about protecting the revenue stream in those countries. If you are, and your patent application is written to protect your revenue stream and your idea, then you proceed and you file in those countries. It's that simple. But sometimes it's a little more difficult. Sometimes it's like, well, we're not getting any revenue out of country X. All we're doing is making the parts and they're shipping it to the US and then we're assembling it in the US. How can we prevent that company in that country from selling those parts to other people? Again, it all had to be set up front. Up front in terms of the revenue stream, the way you were going to make money, and how things were going to be done in light of your idea. Sometimes that's missed, so you don't have the right patent application to file in that country to protect against someone who's just making a part and shipping it back, and you want to stop them from making that part and selling it to other people. All in all, added up, the best way to approach how much money you're going to spend in what countries is a close look at your idea and how your idea is resulting in your revenue. If those two are put together, then you have a very good idea of which countries are important to you, which countries are places where you need to protect not just your idea, but your revenue stream. The other thing that I want to make everyone aware of, and I think it's also very important when it comes to making foreign filing decisions, is there is a very big long-term cost associated with filing applications in foreign countries because a lot of countries have what they call regular maintenance fees. So you have to constantly pay on an annual basis to have those applications, or if they become patents, those patents maintained and active in those countries. In the US, it's the same thing. At 3.5 years, 7.5 years, and 11.5 years, you pay maintenance fees. And of course, the older the patent gets, the higher the maintenance fee becomes. So the other consideration, other than looking at where you're making money and where your revenue stream is, hey, what are the costs of maintaining these things long term? Because you have to budget that in. If you're going to keep a patent application or a patent active for 10 years, you need to make sure that you have budgeted that, and that budget will grow and the costs will grow. And it's not linear, it's a little bit more exponential. The more you have, the more rapidly that cost increases. The main thing that I think is happening a lot where in-house counsels end up spending a lot of time and money not getting good results is that there is this randomness about what countries are picking and where they're going. There's also a randomness about the um, way the budget is put together. It's not thought out fully, because if you're going to do a foreign filing, you have to budget for a lot of things over the course of 5 years, because that's typically the timeline over which most of your expenses will occur in terms of filing, examination, paying issuance fees and the initial maintenance fees. In general, if you're going to go foreign, take a look at your budget, set your budget up first, and then take a look at the countries that are important to you. And if you find that your budget is not enough to, accommodate the companies that are important, the countries that are important to you, then you need to go back and redo your budget or ask for more money. And finally, take a real close look at what your patents were initially and whether or not there was thought put into what the revenue streams were in association with the ideas, or was just the ideas and they filed for protection and got your patent on it. I'm Jubin Dana with Dana Legal Services. These are hard questions that require factual analysis. We're happy to help you with those. Give us a call. We're here. Take care.